Welcome back to 3 and Out. I'm Brian Carr here with Ryan Orlovsky and our special guest Sasha Yugi. Recently, I've come across a section of questions in ESPN The Mag, which basically has a statement followed by fans' votes. We're going to go through the list and see what Sasha has to say about each one, as well as Orlovsky and myself. So without further ado, let's go ahead. The first one that was on the list is female athletes should play only in female leagues and on female tours. 57% of fans agree with that statement, 22% do not. What do you think, Sasha?
I'm going to have to agree. I think that females need to be kept separate from males in sports.
What, do you have a reason for that?
I just think they're not on the same playing level as men, and so I don't think it would be fair.
What do you think, Orlovsky?
I agree with Sasha, 100%. Totally agree.
I'm going to have to do the same, and my boy Jeff Pill we were talking about this earlier, and he said it wouldn't be fair for women, if men, on the other hand, got to play in a women's league. Just think of Tiger Woods in the LPGA. Where would that go?
True.
Yeah.
Next one. It would not make a difference to me if I found out my favorite player was gay. 55% of fans said they agree with that. 29% say they do not agree. Sasha?
I would have to agree. I think it would affect me. I don't know. What do you think?
As much as I hate to say it, I think it would also affect me, but hopefully not. It's never happened, so it's hard for me to say how it would really end up. But I'm sure it would do something to it, how I really felt.
Anytime, the way I'm going to answer this, because you kind of have to be careful, but it would affect me just in the sense that I don't really care about the orientation of a player. But what would bother me is if a player that I did not know something about and he was my favorite player, I looked up to him. It doesn't matter if I found out he had a whole second life that no one knew about. It's just like, how much do you trust that guy? Or, now you start to think, oh, I wonder, why he hadn't said that before. So,
Exactly.
that's the way I'm looking at it, is that it would disappoint me to find out anything about one of my favorite players that I didn't know before. To a certain extent, you don't want to know everything, but there are some things that would be like, wow, I didn't know he had that lifestyle. That's crazy. Next one is, do you think any of the following sports are fixed? Pro wrestling, 75% of fans said is fixed. Boxing at 48%. NBA, 38%. What sport do you think is fixed the most?
I think any sport that has referees, NBA, NFL.
That's every sport.
Well, pro wrestling kind of. But I think they can definitely be more biased, and so you do have fixing.
Pro wrestling, without a doubt. You watch it, and it looks so fake now. They have things to do to enhance it and make it look better, but it's definitely the most fixed of all of those.
It is. You can actually see them practicing exactly what's going to happen. And a true story here, and I kind of felt bad for this, but just last summer I went to St. Louis to visit my family. My little cousin Matthew, he's about like 10 years old, and he really believes that thing is real. And I just made that comment that, I was talking to my uncle, and I was like, no, it's all fixed. It's a big show. And then I just get all these, he just looked at me like it broke his heart, and I felt horrible.
Aww.
But then I had to convince him that, no, I was just kidding. But anyways, all right, next one is, whom would you rather have on your team? A player with moderate talent and good behavior, or exceptional talent but bad behavior? 71% of fans believe that you would rather have one with moderate talent, good behavior. 29 say exceptional talent, bad behavior.
I'm going to have to disagree with the fans. I would go with the exceptional talent but bad behavior.
No surprise, because you're a Cowboys fan.
I
Look
am,
who they have.
and I like T.O. I think
And Pac-Man
that,
Jones.
Yeah, and I think that the goal is to get to that championship, and if having exceptional talent on your team gets you there, then that's what keeps the sport going. That's what gets you new fans, and so it's worth a little bit of trouble.
You want to set her straight, or should
Well,
I?
I got to go with the 71% of fans that agree with that, only because if you have a player with a bad attitude on your team, it doesn't just affect that one player. It's going to affect the whole atmosphere of the entire team, that clubhouse, that locker room.
Such as T.O.
Exactly.
Or Ocho Cinco. Ocho Cinco, T.O. with B.O. It doesn't matter. You have to go with chemistry, team chemistry.
Look what Plaxico Burress did this year to the Giants. The Giants were on the fast track to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, self-destruct.
Burress goes and shoots himself, and look.
He's got a bad aim, apparently. But, I got to say, character and chemistry matters the most, because most teams that go on to win the big game, they don't have all the all-stars. Look at the Yankees. They have the best money can buy, and they haven't won a World Series since 2000, so we're going on 9 years now. Next one is sports gives me an excuse to drink more alcohol than I otherwise do. 31% of fans agree, 69% disagree.
I would have to disagree. I would say that if you're going to drink, then you're going to drink whether you're playing a sport or not. It's just part of your lifestyle.
I agree.
I have not yet reached the age of 21, therefore I cannot comment on that.
Good call, Ryan. But I'm saying as an onlooker, I would say in Pittsburgh when you see other people drinking.
See, when I go to sporting events, I want to go for the game. I don't want anything that's going to distract me from watching that game. You pay big money for tickets, so why would you just go and drink that away?
Yeah, well played, Ryan. I'm 22. I can talk about it. I don't think it gives me an excuse. I mean, if I want to drink a few beers, I'm going to drink a few beers whenever I want to. It's not like I have to have a sporting event to convince me that I need to have a drink. So, I mean, it's not I'm going to say the fans are right on that. If you do, I think it's more like you're trying to show off for somebody if you're just doing it at a sporting event. Okay. Next one is I would follow a sport more if it had more players of my ethnicity. 10% agree with that comment, 63% disagree.
I would disagree. I think there are great players of all ethnicities, and I really don't think it would matter.
Well, I think if you look at the NHL, I think if there are more African Americans playing in the National Hockey League, you definitely have a lot more African American fans. I don't really agree with that because, it doesn't bother me watching NBA where the majority of the athletes are African American, so I can't really agree with that.
I'm with you as well. I mean, it doesn't matter to me a player's ethnicity at all. I think it makes it more interesting when you have a variety of ethnicities. It's really fun to see a lot of different cultures come together in one game of sports. It's really incredible to watch. But yeah, it doesn't make a difference to me at all. Last one is, would you rather have your real life team win a championship or your fantasy team win a championship? No brainer here, and the fans show that 97% would rather see the real life team win. Fantasy team people, that's 3% on that side.
Definitely a no-brainer. I would want to see my real life team win.
I just saw my real life team do it, so I can't.
Again.
Yeah, I agree with Sasha totally.
Oh, it's like duh. I mean, I don't know who the 3% are, but I mean, some people, I guess if the stakes are high enough, there's a lot of people out there who the only reason they watch sports is for fantasy games because they actually invest a lot of money in those leagues as well. It's a lot of money that goes into the fantasy leagues. So those people would rather see their team win. Let's go ahead and go with the Piedmont Sports Minute. We're going to talk about Piedmont softball. That's going to start right now. Basically, they've lost some pretty good players from last year, a couple of seniors.
Well, they also have a lot of good athletes coming back too. You have Rayleigh White returning. You have Drevlo returning. I mean, this team has a lot of good talent still remaining on it, and I think they're going to be better than they were last year. I think they have a shot at winning a GSAC championship this year.
I agree, and I think one thing is they are losing. It's similar to the Lions baseball team as well. They're losing a lot of their speed and their top hitters, but you also are opening the window for other players to contribute. And then you mentioned Lindsay Drevlo. That's going to be big having her back, as well as Michelle Crandall. And then you look also at B.J. Coffer, freshman of the year last year in GSAC, and then her and Drevlo on the mound both were very, very well last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Sasha, do you keep up with softball at all?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. But it's interesting to hear you guys go back and forth about this.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the season.
Pretty cool. I am too as well. I know Coach Terry Martin will definitely have his girls in shape and looking probably for another NCAA appearance as well. All right, now it's time to fit in the Win This Booty. Again, we're trying to give away another Braves hat. Question is, Shaquille O'Neal is the active leader in career points with over 27,000 points. Who are the second and third among active leaders? Just send us an email at 3andoutsports@gmail.com with that answer, and you will get that ugly Braves hat. So we're all finished for this edition of 3 and Out with only 4 shows left. You'll still have a chance to be part of 3 and Out. If you'd like to be a special guest or if you want to share your opinion on something, shoot us an email at 3andoutsports@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube. Just search 3 and Out, Ryan Orlowski, Brian Carter, Piedmont College, whatever you want. Add us on MySpace as well at myspace.com/3andoutsports. I'm Brian Carter.
I'm Ryan Orlowski.
Sasha Yugi.
That was 3.
And we're out.
We're out.